Alright, so I had some time to think this over. And I think I can now talk about this, because I always get this question, will Clash overtake Toontown Rewritten? Probably not, or at least anytime soon. And let me get into that. So, a lot of people who really like Clash oftentimes come to me and they're like, how does Rewritten still have so many more players than Clash when Corporate Clash has all this new content? They keep pushing new content, and Rewritten just sits there and does absolutely nothing. Now, it's something that I like to call the Rewritten Bias. Now, Rewritten has a huge bias in favor of it, no matter what any private server does. And that comes from somewhat of a good place and somewhat of a kind of odd place. Now, the biggest thing for this kind of thought process is, first of all, Rewritten has been around for like 4 years. So a lot of the time when a new server comes out, a lot of the community views the new server just as another server. They don't view it as a big new Toontown server. And this is because we've had so many private servers come and fall very, very soon. And that's kind of everything it's been. Corporate Clash has had more backing than any other server, I think, in like ever. Even if we look at Toontown Rewritten's, when it was coming out, every Toontown YouTuber was pushing for Clash so hard. I mean, even the original Coach Zucchini returned over Clash. It's insane how much support Corporate Clash got when it was being released. And still, it's not overtaking Rewritten. Now, I think the big worry with Clash is that it is going to close sometime soon. It's going to peter out. It's not going to, last that long. And the reason for that is because if you look at Clash and you look at Rewritten, well, Rewritten's been around for 4 years. It's going to take a lot to actually it's going to take a lot for Rewritten to just outright close. But Toontown Corporate Clash, we've been up for maybe like a month. So yeah. Now, other than that, there also is a bias in Rewritten. Rewritten has even dubbed themselves the Toontown team. They've even dubbed themselves the Toontown server, and a lot of the community believes that. They just do believe that. A lot of people look at Toontown Rewritten and Toontown Corporate Clash, and they look at Clash as the knockoff of Rewritten. It's just a fact. I can say how stupid it is to have that thought process, but that's kind of how it is. Um, and I think, and this is the framing that the Toontown Rewritten team likes to put. They like to kind of paint a picture of themselves as the Toontown private server. If you go to their website, it's very, very refined for what a private server really needs. I've never really talked about this, but Toontown definitely goes above and beyond with their just website. It really doesn't have to be that nice, which is funny when you actually get into the game, how their website actually has a lot of work and effort put into it. And then the game actually, okay, you play it and it's just Toontown. And they do things like Toonfest. They do things like the Jesse Shell. Their public image is inflated for a private server. It shouldn't be as it shouldn't be as refined as it is. And I get on them all the time for putting on their private, on their public image instead of actually adding new content to the game. Now, if we compare this to Clash, their website's not nearly as nice. They haven't been around for that long. They're probably not going to do any conventions. And because they view themselves as a private server, Joey is all about that public image. And I think it's stupid. I think it's silly. But you have to remember, when you're the average person and you're looking at these two things, you're going to see, well, Clash has been around for a month. Toontown Rewritten has been around for 4 years. It doesn't really matter what is really better in the game. What people are going to look for is just those very, very small things. Now, with that being said, I do think Clash can eventually overtake Rewritten, but it needs to it's going to take time. So I don't want anyone to really get discouraged about that, and I don't want anyone to be like, the fact that Clash still retains about 1,000 players at good times is insanely good for a Toontown server. It's ridiculously good. It's basically, I think it's the only Toontown server besides Rewritten to ever peak 1,000. So yeah, I don't think I would really get discouraged about that fact. I would just know it's going to take time. It's really just going to take time. And I think, and I don't know, I can't speak for the Clash team, but I don't think they even really thought they were going to be a competitor to Rewritten. I could be wrong, but overtaking Rewritten is a very, very high bar, just because Rewritten has been what we've known for like half a decade. So, I don't even think, I think it's only people like me and people who are really looking at this, that are really, thinking about this. I doubt Clash even really thought they were going to be a competitor. But if they did, I would tell them, don't get discouraged. It will take a lot of time for us to really even get back to this topic, honestly. So, what I've always said is just keep bringing on the content. Keep pushing things out. I heard Loopy Goopy G, and this, if he didn't say this, some fan sent it to me. Apparently Loopy, someone said somewhere, I forget where, it might have been a YouTube video, like, why are you doing a species election? I want new content, I want new gameplay. And Loopy was like, you do know the the people making these models for the species election aren't the same people who are actually programming the game. So, this is very different from Rewritten also, because that's what I said like a year ago. I was like, why are we getting a deer and crocodile when those are modeling jobs? Your programmers haven't been doing anything for a year? So do know, this species election that Clash is doing isn't, it's not going to take, it's just a buffer. It's just a buffer for the real new content. This is just something, 4 new Toon species is just to hold us over. And I know that's weird to think about when last year all we got was 2 new Toon species from Rewritten. Anyways, that's all I want to say. As a final note, I do think, also, I heard Clash is still having a hard time running on some people's computers. I would get that fixed too, guys. I don't know if it's fixed. I've always been fine with running Clash, but I think some of the textures are kind of poorly optimized or something like that. But yeah, there's a huge bias with Rewritten. But it's not that unfounded, because Corporate Clash is definitely the best private server we've gotten. And honestly, yeah, we've seen so many private servers come and go. So, really, Clash just has to build up a reputation. It has to build up a reputation. Has to stay around for a little while. Keep adding new content. And maybe one day it can overtake it. But it is going to be a while. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all later.